Walker tries one.
Sakic fakes it, takes it, scores! Joe Sakic! Power play goal!
Welcome, everybody. Yeah! We're back. We're back early. We're back with a vengeance, everybody. Welcome to the American Idiot Show, episode 8. We are welcoming back Alan. We are welcoming back Jez. And I'll tell you what, we're still angry, everybody. We're still angry. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed at all from yesterday. I thought I felt better, but watching the intro, now I don't feel better again. So here we go. We're gonna chop it up about Arsenal. Get your questions into the chat if you would like. We're just really gonna freeform it here, but let's take it around the panel. Dow, how you doing,
dude?
Man?
I'm doing pretty good, TJ. It's a beautiful day here in Portland. It's about 80 degrees. Sun's out, but there's no other place I'd rather be than here, my friend.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Jez, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to see you guys again. Still fuming about what happened. It's just poor, absolutely poor. But we all knew, as you quite rightly said before the show, we knew it was coming. I called it. I said we were papering over the cracks against Bournemouth and against Villa. And those cracks have opened up into the Grand Canyon now. So,
100%, 100%. And I would like to welcome back our main man, the Oldham fan, the OG, Alan Brierley. Alan, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well, yeah. Thank you for having me on. Like I say, it was... didn't expect it so soon, but yeah, no, it's great to be back on. Obviously, would like to be better on in more positive circumstances for the Gunners in the chat and in the room, etc. But great to be here, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of hours chatting all football.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely, and I'm actually glad you're here, Alan, because I want an outsider's point of view of this absolute shit show that we've been watching the past couple of weeks. Let's just go ahead and start with it. So Arsenal drop. Let's see. We've lost 1 out of 4, draw in the last 3. So that's 3 losses for everybody doing math at home. If you really deep it, Alan, where did we go wrong? What happened with Arsenal?
I mean, it's a tough question. You go back to the Liverpool game and where it all really started. That first half an hour, you were absolutely flying, and I think at the time, I thought, this could actually be your year, because usually, like I said, I've not seen a team come out the traps like that and really dominate for large parts of that first half, if not the whole, like I say, the first 8 minutes, 2-0 up, etc. Yeah. And then it just seemed to fall apart. I mean, I don't know, again, you don't want to blame, who was it? Was it Xhaka who got the Anfield crowd up, etc. and stuff like that? But I mean, it kind of went from there, didn't it? Where, you clung on in the end, which really should have been a comfortable win. The crowd weren't really on it. And then all of a sudden, 2-2, and I say lucky to come out with a point. And it just seemed to snowball from there, didn't it? I mean, even West Ham 2 coasting, Saka misses a penalty, could have been 3-1. It just seems like everything was going for you. And then up until Liverpool and then West Ham, to me, it's just seemed like the jitters have come. And it's like, and I've said to you in the last stream, last time I came on, Man City are relentless. So maybe a point away at West Ham, a point away at Liverpool in times gone by. Actually, do you know what? They're not bad points away from home. Talk about Southampton in a minute. But I say the way City are, they're just relentless. You can't even pick up points. And if you do, it's got to be like, say, a draw at Anfield and then go on and win. And I think as soon as West Ham got back in the game, you could just feel that whole, that pressure's on. And then again, same with Southampton. But I think you've missed Saliba probably for me. I mean, you can't concede 2 at Anfield, 2 at West Ham, 3 against Southampton, 4 at Man City. I mean, that's not even. You've lost the game 1-0 and been unlucky. You've conceded, like I said, 4-3, 2-2. You don't win titles conceding 13 goals in 4 games, unfortunately. So I think for me, he's been a huge loss. And then I think, like I say, the pressure that City have put on you, you've probably just not had not the winning mentality, but that pressured mentality, what I'd call it, title winning mentality to see games out and win scruffy. That's my take on it, I think, over the last 4 games.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Dal?
Yeah. Well, I think Alan hit the nail on the head. It's just, going back to Liverpool, Xhaka getting the crowd up, but, I don't see that as an excuse to why we dropped 2 points. I don't, the reason why we technically lost that is because Zinchenko can't defend. Granit Xhaka is going to rile up every crowd he goes to, So that's kind of nothing new in some cases. But, I mean, the West Ham, I think I'm more disappointed with the West Ham because at Anfield I can see going there, getting a point and being somewhat happy about that. But not when you're 2-0 up, you think we've pretty much got it in the bag. But, Liverpool is one of those teams, if you score early against them, there's still lots of time for them to fight. And they showed in the second half that they're still up for the fight. And they're still up for top 4, right? I think they're only maybe 3 to 6 points off of 4th place.
Yeah.
And so Liverpool I think they've even won 2 straight after they beat us. But yeah, I agree with you, Alan. The West Ham though was the real the anchor.
That was a kick in the teeth. That wasn't it for you.
Yeah, it just could have punched us in the gut. Those 2 goals. We, a lot of us had 3-4 predictions, and myself, I think I even said 2-1 us because of the hangover from Liverpool. I thought would still sort of remain. And just being a general Arsenal fan and everyone in the chat and here in the panel, a lot of our feelings are that we've kind of seen this show before, doing excellent through certain parts of the season and then crumbling at the end, especially last season. But we are a different team this year. And the only bright spot, I can take out of this whole situation over the last few weeks is that we are 2 points above still. And that, like we were saying earlier before the stream, that every title challenge we've seen the last few years has been 1, 2, 3 points. So maybe it's a little faulty of us to think that we're going to have an 8-point run and that's just going to continue and continue and continue when we know that City are going to catch up eventually. So we need to be bracing ourselves for, maybe one day we go up a point, they go up a point, we go up a point, they go up 2 points, until we get to that final game. It's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, they have a game in hand, and that's going to be tough. But we'll see what happens. I'm still holding out some hope having the 2 points, but my confidence is definitely dropped since West Ham for sure.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if they drop any points at all. Jez, what do you think?
Well, I think it all started with that game at Liverpool, 2-0 up at Anfield, and we got away out of there lucky in the end because Salah missed his penalty. It could have been 3-2, but we got lucky, and I think that's when the capitulation started. I think the doubt started to creep in, and I won't accept this narrative that but they're young players and they're not mentally strong enough yet. That's bullshit. They're professional athletes. They're professional players. They've been playing football pretty much for all their lives. So I'm not accepting that at all. The only thing I will concede to is we just don't have the squad. We don't have the squad. And we've been saying this for 2 seasons, that the Arsenal management just don't seem to take this seriously. I mean, when I heard Edu last July say it's all about winning trophies now, good. We'll go and buy the bloody players then. Mm-hmm. Buy those players that you require, what Arteta has asked for. So I'm not going to put all this down onto Arteta, because I dare say he said to him, right, I'd like you to get this player, I'd like you to get this player and this player. And they come back with players he didn't want. That will have to be stupidity, because if a manager wants a Ferrari and you give him a Renault, he's not going to be very happy, is he? So I blame a lot of this. I put a lot of this on the Edu, Garlic Head, and Vinay. because I just don't think they did the damage they should have done in the transfer window. They didn't support the manager fully. And I have absolutely no confidence that they will do it, actually help the manager again. I'm pretty certain we're getting stuck for with Arteta after this window, after this season. But I've no confidence in Edu and that gang to actually go and get the players that this guy wants and strengthen the squad. We all called for a striker. We got Jesus. He's not an out-and-out striker. He's not a player that's going to get you 20, 25 goals a season.
No.
Not the sort of player he is. We held on to Holding when we should have strengthened with a better quality central defender. I called it when I said on Lee's show last September, if we get Saliba injured, we're in trouble. And dear God, what's happened? Since he's been out, we've gone draw, loss.
Yeah. Jestradamus, everybody. Jestradamus. Go ahead, Alan.
I was just saying, I can see, and it's the man of the goals as well. That's the disappointing thing for me. Is like I say, watching from the outside. I mean, Southampton. When did they score 3 goals away from home?
Yeah.
You know, these.
Oh crap! Accidentally.
Incredible. You're 3-1 down with 2 minutes to go. So, like the Liverpool game, they're lucky really. That could have been two losses on top of the City game. So, I think that, like you said, that the only positive is Southampton. You could have lost, Liverpool. You could have lost, and that could have been game over. You have still got a small chance if you win every. But like you say, a City gonna drop points. Very unlikely. They're like Terminator, aren't they? The machine. Like they just don't lose. They don't draw.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know if we're going to win any more games. I mean, I know we've got Wolves at the end, Alan, but I mean, looking at, we still have Brighton, Newcastle coming up, Chelsea on Monday. I don't, with the
Listen, you beat Chelsea on Tuesday after the state there, and then pack up and.
So many people are telling me that we're just going to absolutely clear out Chelsea. I don't think so. I don't think so.
You seen how bad they are? They are.
I know.
Absolutely.
I
horrendous.
understand, but have you watched us the last 4 games? We've been awful.
That's what I mean. If you don't beat them and get yourself back, that's like a good. I mean, they are the lowest point of their. I would say. I can't remember last time Chelsea were like 7 points away from the relegation. They are on 39 points and closer to relegation than Europe. I mean, Frank Lampard, they haven't won a game. I don't think they've scored. I mean, the stats behind Chelsea are absolutely phenomenal. So you've got to be. I think Tuesday, isn't it? You're supposed to play them this weekend, but because of the coronation. I think police, got the police. London haven't got the police to police the game, so I think they've moved it to Tuesday, haven't they? Tuesday night. I mean, if I'm honest, if there's one team, you cherry pick, I think it's got to be them because they're showing nothing. So it's a good opportunity to get a win behind you and say, right, let's get back on track for the last 4 games.
Yeah, but the thing is too, as you know, Alan, is that we're the Arsenal and teams show up. Teams purposely show up. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Chelsea show up and come and conk us 3-1 at our place. I mean,
you are being pessimistic there, mate. You're being pessimistic there.
Yeah, a bit pessimistic because what I've seen so far has been capitulation, and that's what I've seen for the last 19 years. Why would I think things change now? The manager's changed, but has the mentality changed?
Yeah.
Good point.
Maybe that's a sign. That's a good point. Mentality, you don't get it overnight, do you? And I think that's the point with Man City. They are mentality monsters, and I think that's a quote someone else has used on TV. That's that, and we've seen Liverpool, like say, 97 points didn't win the league, 94 points didn't win the league, and they are mentality monsters. And I think that's probably where Arsenal have lacked a bit. And it's not the age thing. That's all. I completely agree with you, Jez. I think it's the mentality of probably the football club that. Did they fully believe? I don't know, but it just seems to me, like I say, as soon as Liverpool got 2 and then the West Ham, it's just snowballed, and that mentality just seems to have. I mean, like I say, the way you approach the game, that wasn't the Arsenal of 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think if the Arsenal 4 or 5 weeks ago played Man City, you'd have seen a different team. They just looked like they were defeated before they even kicked off.
I thought they looked defeated the moment they walked out on the pitch.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
They kind of had the look in their eyes, a little bit of bewilderment. And just like a couple seasons ago, we'd see Lacazette come out with a frown on his face. We knew he wasn't up for it, you know? And it's just, and that's the thing too. It's like, we've talked about this for so long, you know, through the years, even before our YouTube groups and so forth, you know, the true fans have known that this isn't anything new, you know. So why is it that we change players, you know, season after season after season, but the mentality remains. The mentality remains. And we thought we had turned over a new leaf with Jesus and Zinchenko. Well, Zinchenko's shown his real true athletic ability the last few weeks. And Jesus has kind of come in, and in some cases, and some people have said, has really messed up our lineup because it took Trossard out when we were winning with Trossard.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jez, what does Trossard have to do to get a starting spot?
Well, that's a very good point. It's quite an interesting point you brought up there. It's the fact that when we had Trossard starting, we were firing. When Jesus came back in, we started to misfire. Now, I'm not blaming Jesus because he's obviously a very, very good quality player. But I think it slightly unbalanced the team in the fact that they had a method and they were working very well. And all of a sudden it started to break down a little bit. I mean, Trossard is a quality player. He was an absolute snip bargain when we bought him from Brighton. But we went for another Brighton player and couldn't get it over the line. And this is the problem with bloody Edu. I won't accept Arsenal don't have the money. They've got hundreds of millions of pounds. They can buy the players if they really want them. It's just that I think that we try and play this self-sustaining model all the time. And it fractures us. It costs us. And I'm putting all this on Edu's shoulders. But I will also say this. Jesus is a very, very arrogant man. He never changes tactics. I mean, did you see Pep Guardiola's comment before the game? I know exactly how to set this team up against Arteta because he knows him.
He wasn't even bothered. He wasn't even bothered by the game. He wasn't.
He knows him. And it was the master against the apprentice. And even when we were in trouble, Arteta still stayed with that setup. Why did Pep Guardiola get rid of Zinchenko? Because he's not a left back. He's not a left back. And he's cost, I'm sorry, Zinchenko has cost us 3 results, which could have got us 6 points.
He cost you the Liverpool game, didn't he, in a way, when Trent Alexander-Arnold nutmegged him and put it the cross in. When you look at defending, like you just said there, Jess, a good defender there, Ashley Cole, for example, ain't getting done like that. You've got to, you push on, you stop the crossing, you do whatever you can, you foul whatever. But the way he got done by Trent, and then the cross went into the goal to get Jota the equaliser. That was very poor defending for me. That very poor.
And Alan, this is what concerns me, mate, is the fact that we've got one of the best left backs in world football. He's been one. All right, I know people say, it's only Scottish football, but you still got to win it. He's won trebles, that bloke. And
he's very good, yeah. And Scotland have made a renaissance, to be fair. Him and Robertson up and down the left. They beat Spain the other month. They could qualify top of the group for the Euro. So actually, do you know what? I think I've been surprised that Tierney's not had more game time because he's a quality left back, really good.
Absolutely. I mean, I know
he's most teams at left back. I think. Sorry to cut in. I think there's not many left backs better than him in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I know he's a bit injury prone, but we knew that when we bought him. But there's clearly something is not right between him and Arteta, because at one point he's starting every game. Zinchenko arrives because Arteta knows Zinchenko from Man City, right? And he outs Tierney, he pops Zinchenko, and it's cost us. I mean, the Walcott goal, right? Southampton. Where the hell was Zinchenko? He's sat in the midfield, not trotting, not coming back. So that right flank for Southampton is wide open. Gabriel's trying to cover, and he's got another player coming on him, and slots the goal. What kind of left back does that? And I don't like this inverted bullshit. It's crazy, absolutely crazy, and it's cost us. I'm sorry, it's cost us the league, and for that, Arteta has to take the blame for his poor tactics, the fact he won't change up the tactics, and he has no plan B. Because against Man City the other night, he was absolutely lost. He didn't know what the hell was going on, and the fact we haven't got a good enough bench. When you look at the players Man City had on their bench, it just sums it all up, I'm afraid.
One of the comments on a couple of minutes ago was about Man City's class. I think the guy hit the nail on the head. They just oozed, don't they? The winners right the way through, just quality on and off the bench. It's fine. I mean, Haaland's 40. Is it 45 goals in all competitions, or 49, or something ridiculous? I mean,
49.
it's just insane, isn't it? Really, at this level of football in the Premier League in Europe. So,
Yeah, and get ready for him to break the record this weekend against Fulham. Get ready. I bet it happens.
Yeah.
Look, the game really was the Kevin De Bruyne and Holland show. I mean, look how easily they just got through our defensive line as we pushed up. I mean, one of the goals just touched it through, and he just pushed it through to KDB, and he was gone. I mean, it's just some of the stuff they pulled off is just so easy. What up, Dolo, my man?
Dolo, what up?
But
Big D.
yeah, it's just it's one of those things where we just weren't flat out prepared. We just weren't prepared, and that comes down to the manager and the mentality of the players. And I've said in every stream that individual mistakes against big clubs will kill you every single time. And the biggest and the Trent Alexander-Arnold nutmeg on Zinchenko is one thing that I can't really forgive that. Like Jez said, that's just ridiculous. How do you let that happen in such a moment of the game? And again, it's those mistakes that have been prevalent throughout the club. It's like we keep changing players, but the same mistakes, the same mentality, the same build-up, the same letdown. It's kind of like someone said in the chat a couple of days ago, it's like insanity doing the same thing over and expecting different results. Players like Rob Holding, I mean, he's a Wenger hangover. He's been through 3 managers now. And Luke says it right there. It's how can a manager look at him and say, he'll do? It's just for so long, and the whole idea was that we were holding on to up his value, but he just decreases his value with every game he plays because it's absolute crap that he's producing on the pitch.
I don't know, Dal. With that hairdo, he had to have gone up at least $5. At least £5.
He's smiling like he's having fun just to be there, and that's what he said in the Arsenal documentary. He's like, "I'm just happy to be here." Well, no kidding.
Can I bring something up real quick about the mentality? Here's the perfect example of mentality in this team and the lack thereof it. When Holding scored that goal, and it was a well-taken goal. It was a well-taken goal. Okay, great shot. He runs away smiling and winks. I'm like,
right.
We're down 3-1 in the 85th minute against Man City. And you're smiling and winking as you're jogging your way back to your position.
Yeah.
That is the mentality. If you score a goal there, you do not smile, you keep your head up, and you run back to your position.
Also,
oh no, it's a good day.
Yeah. He had the armband as well.
Oh, embarrassing.
Yeah, what was that about?
He had the armband as well when he scored that goal. So let's not think that he's going anywhere. He's our third place captain.
What he should have done when he scored that goal was run in the net and pick the bloody ball up and take it back to the centre circle.
Yeah.
Like what happened when we were down at against West Ham? Was it? West Ham. He went and retrieved the bloody ball. I forget who was it. I can't remember who it was now. Odegaard, somebody like that. I can't remember. But
Odegaard did.
And he went and got that ball, jostled the keeper out of the way to get the ball back to the centre circle, get the game going again. And it might have been, I can't remember what game it was, doesn't matter. But actually, I think it was Southampton.
It was Southampton. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I think we were 2-0 down. And I'm sorry, mate, but Holding is not captain material. He's too quiet. So Odegaard's not. When do you ever see Odegaard bollocking a player, getting in their face, calling them out and telling them to do their job? They don't. There's no communication. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. And I'll also say this. One of the things I was very impressed with start of this season was Ramsdale, the way he was bullying his defenders. Yeah, really calling them out. Really calling them out. That's dropped off because I haven't seen much of that since the Christmas period. And I think his command of the box has dropped. His distribution has dropped. And that has also been an issue for us. I mean, he's letting some sloppy goals. Let's get it right. Very sloppy goals. You know, and so I don't think he's fully on it. So in the summer, we've got to get another keeper. Because I'm sorry, I know we got that fella, can't think of his name.
Matt Turner.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, he's not Premiership level.
No, I agree. No, so Luke, all right, let's go to the comments real quick. There's a couple of comments I want to highlight. Luke James, I won't criticize Ben White. I think he's a class act. I think that Ben White is touch and go, but the last few games he's been one of the only bright spots. We would have been down probably by 4 by the end of the first half if it wasn't for Ben White against Man City. I think Ben White played as well as he could. I think if you could name a man of the match for Man City, for Arsenal, it was Ben White. Because Ben White was the only one really doing anything. And Ramsdale, but Ramsdale was under siege. So I agree with you. Luke. Like, I won't criticize him. I think he's one of the best right backs in the league. It's just one of those things where we're defending with 2 actual defenders right now. And it makes everybody look bad. It makes everybody look bad. So, and another thing about Ben White too that I really, really like, when we're on it, he contributes offensively very, very well. I think he has 2 goals this season, like from a right back, and that's not like a right wing back. That is a full back. So when he overlaps in there and gets in the box when we're dominating him, he's lethal. He can be anyway. So yeah, I like Ben White a lot. I don't want to see him go anywhere anytime soon. What do you think, Dal?
Yeah, I've been impressed with him this season too. To be honest, I know he's not very good at center back, but however, that right back I think is pretty solid, and he was one of the better players against Man City. I think I gave him a 5, which is one of the higher scores in everybody's.
Yeah,
looking at Jess's and Lee's ratings of 0s and 1s and 2s. Ben White got 1,000 compared to that. No, I think he's a solid choice. He's one of those players where, there's been some controversy about him, how he doesn't watch football, he doesn't really follow the sport, and there's something to be said about that. But at the end of the day, he is vocal. He's one of the more of the vocal defenders I think we have, to be honest. And his positioning is really good on the pitch. And like you said, TJ, he can move up and attack. And so I think there's something there. I just think we need another backup that's as good as him. And unfortunately, Tomiyasu just isn't it, And Tomiyasu, for me, too, has been one of those players that's been hit or miss. When he's on, he's pretty on. But for the most part, he's just not as good as Ben White. And I don't think he's Arsenal quality, but I think that there definitely is talent there with Tommy. He is strong. I think he has good vision. He has okay control of the ball, but it's just not Arsenal quality.
He makes some poor decisions sometimes.
That's the thing, and that's even like goes along with a player we had before, like Joe Willock, who was a central attacking mid, and all the more praise to Joe Willock is looking incredible at Newcastle, but his decision making on the ball at times with Joe Willock was like, we'd be on breaks, he wouldn't know to dish it to the left or right side, and he'd end up losing the ball. And so I think some of that indecision, like you said, TJ, with Tommy, is something that as well we've seen with other players. And Joe Willock is just another example of a player who doesn't make quick decisions on the ball. And as you know, you're attacking, you need to be on your P's and Q's and distribute the ball as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Mhm.
But no, Ben White's a solid player. Yeah, Luke's got a point. He doesn't make
I
many
agree.
mistakes, and he's levels better than Holding and better than Tomiyasu.
Yeah. What do you think of Ben White, Jez? Overall.
Well, when he first came, I was a bit uncertain about him, to be honest. He didn't have a great start, but he's certainly not a centre defender. Since he's been at that right back, he's owned it. He's made it his own. Made it difficult for Tomiyasu. I mean, let's get it right. When we first had Tomiyasu come in, he was decent.
Mm-hmm.
He was a decent player. Solid, quick, made some decisive, scored some goals.
Yeah.
You know, not many, but scored a few. But he got injured. He's out for a long time, and he hasn't been the same player since. And I think maybe he struggled with fitness. But I think if we are going to take this seriously next season with the Champions League, dear God, I'm sorry. There's going to have to be a massive clear out. And I'm Tomiyasu. I'm sorry, you're one. Holding you another, and the crazy one. El Neni injured. Oh, let's give him a new contract in January.
He's going to be like a new signing, Jez.
Jesus Christ. He's hardly played this season. He's a bit part player. The only time he played last season really is when Xhaka was either banned or injured. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I like Ben White. I think he's proven himself. He's come in. He's made that position his own, and I would keep him all day long.
Yeah, Alan, are you a Ben White fan? I don't know how much you paid attention at that level to Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him, and obviously, I was interested to see what he said to Foden after the game because it seemed to kick off, didn't it? I don't know if you all picked up on that. He said something, didn't he? Yeah. So I don't know what he whispered to him, but. Do you know when you signed him, I was surprised he went to right back because he was Brighton centre back, wasn't he? And I think for England, he came in the squad to be centre back. So I was surprised when I saw him playing right back. So I thought, why is he doing that? Or whether he had him in mind to be right back, bit of a surprise. But I think he's solid-ish without being spectacular. But I think probably the way the game's gone, does he offer enough? Does he offer enough going forward? I mean, like I say, I think he's fairly solid, but. Like you say, I think now the game's moved to that kind of attacking like backs now, more like wingers, aren't they? To many think I don't see him getting loads of assists. I don't see him creating loads of chances. Like I said, I think he's solid enough, but
yeah,
is he the player to take to the next level? I would probably say no. I wouldn't sell him because I think he's a good squad player, but I think you need someone better than that. If I'm in my point of view, if you want to go on to league titles and challenge for trophies and stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There was a couple of questions up here. Hold on. I want to put it on here. Somebody was asking us. Okay, people were asking us if we would do a keep and sell. We're going to have to do an entire show around that. That is such a long conversation. We will do Lenny at the end of the season. We will do a keep and sell, keep sell bench. We will do that for sure. And I'll tell you right now, spoiler alert: clear out all the loanies, all of them except for Balogun. Now moving on. Half Dolo. Wow. So is Arsenal trash right now?
My man Dolo is me and Alan's buddy. He doesn't really follow football too much. He follows NFL football. So he's. I'm trying to teach him the Arsenal way over the last few years. He's not saying we're trash. He knows we're just at a really bad spot right now.
Well, I just hope he isn't a Broncos fan because it's even worse than me.
No, he's a Panthers fan.
Oh, that might not be good either, honestly. Arsenal Forever says we've still got Deadwood players we need to get rid of in the summer. I agree, 100%. Anthony says, big up the panel, finish off the season. Next season, bring in better players. Arteta, no excuse now. I'm telling you right now, it's not just Arteta, everybody. Edu out. Period. End of story. We need to stop letting Edu get away with this. Freaking oh my God. If you're gonna shoot at Arteta, shoot at Edu too. Sorry, I'm done with that. I'm done with that whole narrative. Grumpy Grandpa, what's up, man? Big up, big Tottenham guy, but he followed me over here. Great guy, Grumpy Grandpa, real one about the shithole, real one. Let's see, one more comment here. 2002, 2003, 2007, 2008, 2013. Yeah, I know. We're the masters of how we bottle the league. Facts. It's unfortunate.
But that goes right to our main thing about what we talk about, TJ, Jez. We talk about this daily. We look at those years, we look at those dates, and the mentality is the same. Why? Right? Is it ingrained in the club? Is there something about the moment you step into was it Jez London Colney?
Yeah.
You step in there, right? And do you all of a sudden now just feel like, oh, I just want to get fourth place, and I'm just gonna kick the ball around a bit and see what
Look
happens.
at all those fourth place trophies.
Oh man, there's so many.
Nice. Arsenal is just too nice.
Right.
It goes back to the classic years in the 70s and the 60s when it was the narrative was Arsenal is a classy club. Okay, Arsenal are a classy club, and the old sayings like when David Dean knocks on a club's door, it's a different kind of knock. All these lovely, nice little quotes. But the problem is we just don't have the ambition. We don't have that horrible bit about Arsenal that we had when we had players like Tony Adams, Steve Bold. I could go on and on. I mean, club legend in Bergkamp. He actually wasn't a very nice person on the pitch.
Right.
He was a dirty bugger.
Even Vieira and Petit as well, Jez. Back into that era, they were solid, they were amazing, but they were tough. You didn't lose a battle, did you, against Vieira and Petit?
No, and that's unfortunately the sort of people, Alan, we have to have to win, because you need. As a friend of mine, great friend of mine, who still goes every week home and away. We need gangsters. That's what he calls them. We need gangsters. People that don't give an F, and they will get involved. And people like Martin Keown, ugly bugger, but he was a fighter. I wouldn't want to take him on, that's for sure. And if you don't have that passion and that nastiness, you want to be Mr. Nice, because that's the Arsenal portrayal. We are nice, rubbish. Get in and punch a few people around the head. That's how you win.
Yeah.
So what's the hope for you guys moving forward then? Obviously, big summer ahead in terms of recruitment.
Yeah.
What's the hope? Is to obviously keep pushing on, or what do you think? Is it optimistic? You kind of thinking, next season we'll kick on even further?
Well, Alan, we've got to seriously have a major clear up. I'm unfortunately, I'm convinced we'll be stuck with Arteta, because it will be, we finished second, and nobody ever expected us to win the league. We're now back in the Champions League. Well, okay, we're in the Champions League. Great. Well, will we get out the group stage with this squad? No. Fact. If we are going to take that seriously, and let's get it right, we know if we're in that Champions League, Alan, we will throw away the FA Cup and the Carrier Bag Cup. We know it. And people are saying, the priority is win Champions League. Get real. We couldn't win the Premier League. You think we're going to take them from the elite of Europe?
Right.
With this lot? I'm sorry, there's going to have to be a massive clear out, and we're going to have to seriously invest. And when I say seriously invest, I mean Edu and that lot should be talking to the Cronkies now, saying we need 250 to 300 million. If you want us to get into the Champions League and seriously compete for the Premier League, we can't just focus on the Champions League. When we start focusing on the Champions League, right, start the season, what's going to happen in the Premier League? What, we're going to sit there and just, do the Wenger thing. It's all right to finish top four. It's okay to finish top four. Those leagues were put up on the screen a minute ago by Arsenal Forever. I remember all of them. because we were competing in the Premier League, but failing in the Champions League. Apart from one Champions League final, where I still say to this day we got cheated, but they
Absolutely, we got cheated.
We did get cheated.
I'm sure I'm convinced we got cheated. I already am.
Rest of
And I think that will come home to roost because if, I know I'm going off target. With the corruption that's just come about, bribery to referees by Spanish clubs, proves a good point to me. Anyway,
That's fine.
That's
fine.
We've got to invest, and if we don't invest, and I don't believe the Cronkies won't say, okay, you're asking for £250 million. Now, if Josh Kroenke, who I believe is in charge, if I was him, I'd be saying, right, I'll give you 250 million, or allow you to spend 250 million, but you've got to deliver. If you don't deliver it, you're both sacked.
Yeah,
simple.
I agree, but I don't think that they're cutthroat. I think Josh has somebody in charge that's just right for him. I think Mikel's a little bit too much of a Kroenke puppet or a Kroenke pet. And my theory, and yeah, I won't get into that because I don't think anybody has time for my riot act length. That might have to be a video that I put out at some point to give my opinions of the Cronkies. But Ravi says, question, will Arsenal have enough to cope with the Champions League and the Prem at the same time? Nope. Not right now. Not with this current squad, my friend, and I think you know it. I know Jez just answered that question. Dow, what do you think?
Well, of course not. You're gonna take that crap to the Bernabeu? Come on, man. I mean, it's just, to think that we couldn't even beat Sporting Lisbon, to think we're gonna go against Bayern Munich, Marseille, Dortmund, Inter Milan, AC Milan. I mean, give me a freaking break. Those teams will absolutely annihilate us. I mean, Sporting Lisbon did, so who's to think that any other team wouldn't, right? I mean, the Champions League we're going to be in it. It's great, but my true thoughts are if we don't get top European talent, and that's the other thing. I think there's another piece that Jez was leading on to too. If you recruit for the Champions League, you could be dropping Premier League. If you recruit for the Premier League, are you really getting the European players to go up against top European players, right? So let's say we get like Declan Rice. I think we're going to get Declan Rice. I really do. I think that's pretty much.
I hope so.
I hope that contract's halfway done. And let's say we do. Is Declan Rice the one to take us to the promised land?
I'm not way sure. More than Declan Rice.
But Declan Rice can do a job in the Premier League, as we know. Mm-hmm. So that's where the recruitment comes in, and that's where Edu just isn't up for the task, man. He's just not the guy. We couldn't pay an extra 15 to 20 million for Caicedo, like Jez said, but we'll settle for Jorginho, who doesn't play. So it's laughable, So Robbie, no, we don't have enough, and I don't think we'll be ready next season, and I even don't think the season after that. We've got to clear out. We've got to find the talent. We've got to get the talent that wants to join. That's the other thing, boys. We go into these players trying to pick Lautaro Martinez away from Inter earlier this summer. Why? Trying to get, there's no incentive for leave other than money and play in the Premier League. And at the same time, maybe he would have left knowing that we're first now. But to go think we're going to splash the cash on the top European talent and they're just going to leave their clubs for Arsenal, who haven't won a title in 19 years, is stupid.
Yeah,
so I mean, it really kind of it shrinks the box that you have to look into, right, TJ? It shrinks the amount of players on the market that are really available and the Arsenal can really, really get. We're not going to get an Mbappe. We're not going to get a Vinny Jr. We're not going to get Rodrigo. We're not going to get, Lewandowski, some of these top European talents. Now, that's not to say with some progression we can get that, right? But if I'm Lewandowski, I'm not coming to Arsenal until I see Champions League progression, until I see us getting out of the group stage 4 or 5 seasons in a row. Mm-hmm. And until that happens, there's no incentive for players like Lewandowski, Martinez, etc., to even think about coming to Arsenal.
No, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
there's that breakdown in recruitment. And, I really want to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. Ravi, Arsenal forever, Grumpy Grandpa, Lenny. This is what now for Arsenal? That's the title of the show.
Yeah, what now?
This is Champions League, then what? We get beat up we get placed with Bayern Munich again? Oh, that'll be fun. 8-2, 10-2.
We have
so the cycle never really goes until there's real change. And we're seeing Arteta is just a Spanish Wenger.
Yeah. We have 12 in the chat, everybody. We have 12 in the chat. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you're subbing to Jez, the Arsenal history and more. Make sure you're subbing to Dow, Oregon Gooner, my man. And then we have Alan. Make sure you follow Alan Brierly on Twitter. He is the man. Alan, when are you starting your own YouTube channel, please?
I said this last time to me. It's maybe something I need to think about. Yeah, I think Dole's been pestering me as well when the game is about having my own YouTube channel and streaming and stuff. It's something maybe for me to get my teeth into.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And this is how it starts. I went on Jez's channel, and now my entire life has changed. Yeah. So next, let's see. We're taking questions now. We're just taking questions. CJ, thoughts on Arsenal fans not wanting Arteta, Kroenke, Adu out as they think they've done good lately? It wasn't long ago, you man. We're doing process and wanting change. Here's my thought on that, and then I'll let everybody go around. Winning solves all problems, Ravi. Winning solves all problems. So up until 4 weeks ago, we were winning a lot. Outside of the league, we weren't, but in the league, we were. So as soon as you start winning, take Manchester United, for example. I don't mean to go off on a tangent here, but take Man United, for example. They were consistently winning in the league up until about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they've kind of been shaky ever since. When they lost, who did they lose to? No, when they lost to Sevilla, okay, in the Europa League, they lost to Sevilla. The freaking green and yellow scarves come out. They're Norwich City again. Like they start calling for the Glazers to come out. And as soon as they start winning again, those scarves go away. It's the same with Arsenal, only with protests, okay? If it gets bad enough, the fans will do something about it. But it's not even close to bad enough right now. So that's why you're not seeing anybody outside of the stadium. You're not going to see any of that. And it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, people like Jez, who've been watching for nearly 55 years, you got Dow, who's been a fan for decades, and you got me, who's been a fan for a decade, who want to see more than what we've been seeing. We will call for them to be removed if they aren't of the levels or they're consistently making what we perceive to be incredibly bad choices and not producing the results that we expect of a world-class football club. And with that, I will get off of my soapbox because, on this channel, you've heard it before and you'll hear it again. The standards do not drop. They don't drop. Period. Anybody want to add to that?
Wenger, the only reason Wenger went was because if you ever watched that latter part of that season, the seats were empty. The stadium was half empty, the Emirates. And that is when he wasn't sacked. He was, I think, asked to resign. Mm-hmm. I think out of respect for what he had achieved at the club in his early days was amazing. He turned Arsenal around, but he stayed too long. If respectfully to him, after he lost the European Cup final, with which we were cheated, he started for another season, and we didn't move on. Maybe another season, and that would have been the time for him to say, "Okay, time to go. Let's get somebody else in." Because we all know he absolutely loves Arsenal. He loves the place. And I'm sure it was a very, very, very sad day for him when he had to go. But times and things move on. And we're not going to see that just yet with Arteta. Because the fan base, some unknown reason, I don't understand this. I really don't understand it. They think he's the Messiah. And what's he actually ever done? What has he actually ever done? He wasn't great at Arsenal Football Club. Wenger bought him at 10 to 11 from Everton as a panic buy. He bought 3 players that night, Wenger, and they were all panic buys because Arsenal were absolutely shit at the time. And people call it out. Oh, he's an Arsenal legend. Was he? He wasn't an Arsenal legend.
Not at all.
He was in the Invincible squad, but he wasn't a bloody legend. Really? I mean, this is what I think is. And may I, before I shut up, can I just say I really, really, really wanted Arsenal to win this league. I'll tell you why. Because there's so many fans who go to the Stadium have never ever seen Arsenal win the Premier League. And that is the biggest problem in this fan base is they accept fourth, second, third, fourth. They accept it because that is what they were brought up with. If they actually saw what winning a Premier League actually means, I think their minds would change. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of channels out there that promote failure. Yeah, there's a woman's channel. I won't name her name. She's American and she's an absolute bloody clown. She goes on Sky Sports and she's an absolute idiot. She knows nothing about the club. She talks ball, and certain other big channels out there do the same. They accept mediocrity. Now, if you're in elite sport, Alan, your team, you're out to win. You don't accept mediocrity. You want to win. And that, with a massive football club, Arsenal, arguably, are the third biggest club in English football. Why are we accepting second? Second means nothing. First is first. Second is nothing.
That was that mentality I was telling you about. Talking about earlier. It's getting, you've got to get winning and tactics and everything's one thing, but you've got to have the mentality, haven't you, right the way through. And if the mentality is lacking, that's where teams will fall down. Again, that's where City have been so good. They've built mentality over years. Same United when they dominated, and in a bit of Chelsea as well. And Mourinho, the mentality, winning mentality all the way through. I do think Arsenal lack that bit of steel, a bit of winning mentality, I think.
But right now, but that's sorry to interrupt, Jez, but that's part of what we've been saying though. Why has that not changed? Why, TJ put up the years to get Arsenal forever put up. Why does that mentality though, Alan, stay in the past years? Why? Like, we are top of the league and it's great. We're loving it. We've literally loved this from the kickoff of the first game this season. We've looked amazing, played some amazing football. Some of the best I've seen us play literally in a decade, okay? But the mentality is still there when it comes to the business side of the season. Why can't things change? What has to happen internally to make us champions? We talk mentality, but it's still there. It's still weak. How do we fix it, Alan? From the outside. Tell us.
Well,
that's my brother.
It's the players. I think you've got to look at the players as well for start. I mean, who would you say in your team is going to grab games by the scruff? And I mean, again, you tell me because you probably watch Arsenal more than me. But I'm thinking about back in the day. Sometimes you don't like going over all players. Vieira, Petit, Jez mentioned them. Adams, Keown. These are what you class these mentality players. Players who just win at all costs. Teams look at these players in the tunnel and have lost before they stepped out there. You look at Arsenal in the tunnel, although, like you say, they've done great this year. Some of the football has been amazing. First 30 minutes against Liverpool is testament to that. But if you're staring Arsenal in the tunnel, am I looking at them thinking, oh my God, I've got, I don't mean from an ability point of view, I mean mentality. Am I looking at that team in that starting 11 thinking, he's got me, mentality. That's the bit that you've got to start signing. I think players that are going to improve the mentality. And again, I think, like you say, So you look at Vieira, they were two recent players where, even like the likes of Van Persie, he was a winner. He had the mentality. Like I said, I've heard United players say that, he might not be shouting and aggressive, but winning mentality. And I think that's to me big summer for Arsenal. Not only just buying players, I say they're going to improve you technically and ability wise, but you need one or two, like I say, players who are going to improve the team off the pitch and I say really improve the mentality that the football club to get you over lines to winners. It's not easy, winning trophies is probably the hardest thing in football, isn't it? It's that thing to say, but winning and consistently winning, and especially when you've got teams like Man City and you're up against. Yeah, so I don't know what TJ and Jez think, but for me, you've got to start signing players who are going to mentally improve.
So is it one of those cases? Now, Jez, you've been a business owner for many years. So is it one of those cases of you find the person with the mentality, the heart, the desire, and the brains, and then you teach them the technical skills? Or do you want to bring someone in with the technical skills and then you have to teach them the mentality? Because to me, it's number one first. Mentality first. You can teach the skills second.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, you put that so brilliantly well. When I used to hire people in, once a year we might get an apprentice in, novice, doesn't know anything, doesn't even know what a screwdriver is. But if they've got the ambition and the drive to learn, and you put them through college, you put them through training, and they learn, and you see them build, and the confidence builds, they're building as a person, and you know what they're going to achieve. Now, if you don't have, I had a great discussion about this a few weeks ago with an old mate of mine, who also had his own business, and you can't run a business without having a mentally strong drive. Because you've got to win every single day because you're up against your opposition. People want to nick your business. They want to nick your customers, So you've got to fight every single sodding day. And it is hard work. But I think sometimes I watch back sometimes some of my own videos, or I've watched back videos where I've been on other streams. And I come across as quite a hard person. And I think, and my wife has said to me that my attitude to things has changed over the years. And well, of course it has. I ran a business for 20 plus years, and you don't survive if you're weak. You have to have a winning mentality. And I don't see it's any different in any walk of life that you're in, whether you're in an engineering business, you're a bricklayer, you're a roofer, you're a Formula One racing driver, you're a footballer. You have to have that cutting edge to make it through. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of players at Arsenal Football Club don't have that mentality. And I'm sorry also to say, I also think there's a lot of management behind the scene that don't have that mentality because it's an easy ride. It's Arsenal. It's Mr. Nice Arsenal. Yeah, lovely. Let's all be friendly. Let's all kiss and cuddle before the game and afterwards. I mean, I'm sorry, Arteta, you've just been beaten by one of the best managers in the world who you work for, and you're cuddling him after the game. Shake his hand and say,
did you see him after the game hugging all the City players? I mean, it was more them coming over to him, to be fair to him. However, he seemed a bit more like laughing, cuddling and all this. And to me, there's a time and place for that. Do it down the tunnel, do it, meet after the game, go into the changing room, whatever, and say, but don't do it on the pitch just after the whistle and be, hugging and proper. Like I say, there's shaking the hands and walk off the pitch. But some of the stuff I saw him doing the City players, you're like, really? At least Ben White showed a bit of art. Fair enough, he started something, but I'd rather that than a load of hugging.
Yeah, I agree. I think something going back to that. I think something happened during the game. I think Foden spiked him in the corner or something like that on a play. He was pissed about it. I saw it. Yeah, saw it. And Ben White took exception to it. And you know what? Good on Ben White.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'd rather that than you than hugging and kissing and all that kind of nonsense after the game.
Good on him.
Fergie and Jose used to go have a dinner and a glass of wine after a match, after Chelsea and United.
Yeah.
So did Arsene
jeez.
Wenger. So did Arsene
Wenger, Wenger and Fergie used to have dinner after the games. Yeah, that's right. So,
That's
I remember
so
a game. Sorry. I remember a game. We just bought David Seaman from QPR, right? Yeah, we were playing QPR, and it was a cup game, and it went to a replay, and the QPR players came up to David Seaman like, this, that, and the other, and you could visibly see him tell them to F off. He didn't want to talk to them. And now he'd been his teammates for 2 years, right? And you could literally see on the TV. He was on Match of the Day. I remember watching it 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, and he was like pushing them away, not nastily, but saying, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you." And that is winning mentality.
Yeah,
he was peed off with himself because he let in a penalty that day, and.
Time and place, Jez, like I said, after the game, behind closed doors, whatever, but not on the pitch.
No.
Not on the pitch. Because it doesn't set a good tone, does it? It doesn't set a good, what's it saying to your Arsenal fans and everyone else that I'm happy to.
Totally right, Alan.
Do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you should be walking off that pitch absolutely devastated and not having a laugh with your ex, your ex colleagues, if you like. In front of everyone anyway.
I mean, I get it. You walk down the tunnel after a game, you've lost or you won, and your teammate for your country, and in the tunnel, walking off, you go, all right, nice one, well done. Especially if you just won the World Cup, fair play. I get it, I understand it, but on the pitch, shaking hands, hugging each other, laughing, yeah, right. That gives a great opinion, doesn't it? And that to me just shows to me you're not playing for the team. You're not playing for the badge. You don't care. You're just getting a massive paycheck each week. Don't understand that mentality.
Couldn't agree more. Dal, I think it's time. Time.
For nearly predictions.
For the predictions, everybody. Ding, 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 ding. We need to get a sound effect or something. I'll do it. I'll work on it.
Connor, work on the sound effect.
Yeah, Connor, we need a sound effect now. Now, Connor, stat. I don't know if he's even still here. Big up everybody in the chat, by the way. We got 15 watching. Be sure to put in your scores. I will do my best to get them down so you can go ahead and participate too. Why not, right? So let's go ahead and by the way, smash the likes if you haven't already. Sub to everybody on this channel. We got Jez, we got Oregon Gooner, and we got Alan, who's after I say it enough time, he's going to start his own channel. So
pressure from Drummo.
lots of pressure. Lots of pressure. Okay, we're sharing, and I'm back home, so I can actually do this now. All right, here we go. So these are last week's results. It is a 3-way tie between me, Spencer, and Connor. If I just can't stand drawing. I can't stand tying. I've seen way too many ties the last couple of weeks. So I'm not taking the belt home. I'm just gonna take it and move on. So yeah, and then second place we had Mr. Dal. Third place tied Darren and Jez, and then bringing up the back.
Jaminho.
Jaminho. We're gonna have to rename the freaking Steve Award if you're not careful.
Steve Award.
The Steve Strasburg, the Strasburg Steve 0 points award. Okay, here we go. Well, let's bring it up for this week, everybody. Starting off. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't do any of the midweek fixtures, so that was technically two match weeks ago. But we are going with the fixtures for match week 34 of the Premier League. We are going to start off with West Ham visiting Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace. Let's go ahead and start with, you know what? Let's start with Alan. He's the guest. Start with Alan.
I'm interested to know how we got on last time. To be fair, was it 3 weekends ago when Liverpool played Arsenal? I mean, obviously don't go back there now, but I'm quite intrigued to see how I got on. I think I got 1 or 2 right, but
Alan, I think it's the April 14th tab there, TJ.
Yeah. Hold on.
Let's what was it?
7.
You
Oh, there
got
you go.
second. You got second on that one.
You bad, so I came second, right? So I've got a bit of got something to look to. I've got to try and get the get to first place today, right? Fine. So six to beat.
You gotta have the mentality, Alan. You got to have the mentality.
You gotta have the mentality, elite mentality, Alan.
I'm going for the win. Yeah, I'm going for the win this week. Absolutely. Right. I think Palace. Yeah, Palace West Ham. 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. Oh, yeah, I'm going to copy. I didn't see them up there. I think reason being, I think it's a tight game. That I think Palace have done well, haven't they, in recent weeks since he came in? Three wins and a draw. And same with West Ham, they picked up. It's a tight London derby, so I think Jaminio and Lenny are spot on there. I think I'm going for a 1-1 draw myself.
Ooh. Hunter isn't here because he's working on stuff for me. Jez.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1.
God, everybody's going 1-1. All right.
Not everybody.
Not Dal.
2-2.
Oh, give me a break.
Well, wait, Crystal Palace? No. Let's go 2-1. Let's go 2-1. Palace. Yeah, my man
Palace.
Diego. Shout out to Diego Palace.
Yeah, Diego Palace. You better come on here soon, my friend.
Well,
We're gonna keep harassing you about it. I'm going 3-1 Palace. I just think West Ham. I don't think West Ham are gonna have it, and it's Selhurst Park is always hard for anybody. And then Yeti says 2-1 Palace too. 2-1 Palace too. All right, that's all I'm going to be able to keep up with. If I don't have you on the sheet, post all of you. Yeah, we'll get you added just post it in the comments after we go offline. Okay, guys. So Yeti says 2-1 Palace. Okay. Wolves visiting Brighton. Alan.
I think Brighton will have too much for Wolves personally. Now the FA Cup's out the way, if you like, for Brighton. I think concentrating on the league, and they'll be going for Europe, in my opinion. So I'm going to go 2-0 to Brighton.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going 2-0 Brighton myself.
Al, are you going 2-0 Brighton?
I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton. Ruben Neves is the number one player I want at Arsenal. He's just he scores goals, dude.
Yeah. Lenny says 2-0 Brighton. Jaminho says 1-0 Brighton. Yeti says 3-2 Brighton. That's good. That's a score. And I'm going 2-0 Brighton. I'm cheating off of Alan. Okay. Forest visiting Brentford. Let's go with Alan first.
I think Tony's on fire a bit more. He's picked up on it, and Forest, although they got 2 away at Liverpool last week, they've only scored 7 away goals, and I don't think they're great away at all. So I think Brentford will have too much for him. So I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford. Yes, you're not copying me again, are you?
Yeah.
He's nodding.
It's going to be a tie between Alan and Jez.
Sorry?
No. Are you going 2-0?
Well, when Alan said that, that's why I laughed. I thought, oh, right. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Jez, you go first on the next fixture.
Jez, you're going 2-0, huh?
I'm going with what I put in my Sky Super 6. So, I've got to stick with what I said.
All right, 2-0.
Man true to his word. I'm going Brentford 3-1.
Okay. Yeah.
Shout out Mr. B.
Mr. B for life. All right, who we got? We got a 1-1 draw coming from Yeti.
2-0 Jaminho.
2-0 from Jaminho to Brentford. Where's Lenny? Is Lenny still here? 1-0 Brentford is what he says.
Sorry, Yeti.
Yeah, you're out. I actually think I think Forest will score, but I'm going 3-1 Brentford.
Smart man.
3-1 Brentford. I'm cheating off of Dow for sure. All right, this is an interesting one actually. Aston Villa going to Man United. This is an interesting one. Let's go with Jez first.
Okay. 2-1 Aston Villa.
Oh,
At the
that's
theater
what I was hoping
dreams.
for. At the theater, dreams are about to turn to nightmares. Alan,
Do you know, that was not far off one of my predictions. I've put 1-1, and I think it might possibly will be 1-1. However, do you know the staff that Emrise, the first manager, is scored? They've scored in every game he's been there, 20 games or something. So Villa have scored in every single match he's been a manager, which has never happened in a manager's first tenure in the Premier League, which is incredible, really. So I think Villa will score. I think 2-1. It definitely could be happening, but I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a 1-1.
Mm.
all right. We got Jaminho going 2-1 Villa, Lenny drawing 2-2, Yeti going 3-1 Villa. Dow, what do you think?
I'm gonna go. God, that's really a good game, isn't it?
It is a good one. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
United are just United. You never know what you're gonna get this season. I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-1 United.
This is tough because Rashford's back and he's scoring.
Yeah, United just has that bit of class, don't they?
Yeah,
And
and it's at home. I'm going 3-1 United.
Mm.
I'm going 3-1 United. It's gonna not be a good evening for Unai, I don't think.
Mm.
Oh, it's a good. Oh yeah, that's a good mid afternoon. To be fair. All right, let's go with this one. This will be fun. Man City versus Fulham. Alan.
This will be fun.
I'm going to go 3-0 to City.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
Oh, no. Jesus.
Come on, Alan. That's United. You got there, Chief.
Oh, jeez. Sorry. No, I'm out of it. Man, there you go. Then we got 4-1. Yeti says 4-1 to City. Lenny says 4-0 to City.
Jesus,
Jesus, guys. Jesus.
Fulham is
4-1.
They're pretty bad.
Domino says 4-1. Jess.
I'm going to change it now. I was going to say, I'm going to change it. I was going to say 3. I'm going to go 4.
4-0?
Yeah. Man City.
Okay. Al.
You guys are gonna slap me. I'm going 1-1.
Oh.
Okay, why? I got why?
Okay, I'll tell
Sorry.
you why. I'll tell you why. Fulham have had one of the better seasons. They've had a long time. I think they were relegated a couple seasons ago, or not season. Back this
2
season.
seasons ago, yep.
2 seasons ago. Marco Silva has them playing. He will have them drilled. He will have the right players on the right City players that Arteta failed to do.
Okay.
He will
Only
find
thing
the
that
best
was,
players, go on
big
their best players and actually guard them and pull back and hit them on the counter like Tottenham does every time they beat them.
You got
Marco Silva is going to pull out a 1-1.
so
Jeff thinks I'm insane.
Mitrovic has been a big loss for them, though, hasn't he? Since he got that, would he get 9 or 10 game ban? Since he got banned, they just don't look as strong, do they? So, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you too much. There's your opinion in it, but you just, I don't know. Without him, they just haven't got the firepower front in terms of strength, have they? But you never know. Strange things happen.
I don't think they're going to get pounded. I just don't think they're going to get pounded. I think that Marco Silva is smart enough to look at the Arsenal City game and know what not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He will have them set up better than Arteta had us set up, and that's for sure. And that's why I think Fulham's not easy. It's not an easy place to play. I mean, I know they're not the best. I know that. And I 1-1 draw, that's what I'm hoping for. But I think that can happen. I really do.
I'm not saying that it can't happen. I'm going 2-1. I don't think they're going to kill him. I'm going to go 2-1 just because my center back, my American center back, Tim Ream, is there. Let's go, Tim Ream.
Yeah,
Tim
fair
Ream.
enough. Tim Ream. God bless the USA.
Okay, we got Leeds United visiting Bournemouth. This is actually interesting. This is an interesting one. Let's go with Alan first.
I think this will be fairly tight for me, so I'm going to say 1-0 to Bournemouth.
1-0 Bournemouth. Okay. Yes.
I don't believe it. Oh dear.
You're going to say 1-0, Jess?
Yeah, you've got camera in my house, haven't you?
Me and you. We've got this kind of freaky wavelength going on tonight.
Alan is a spec
Seriously.
ops.
Seriously, I'm going to change it then to 2-0.
Up 2-0. Okay.
Jez wants to win this damn thing.
Jez wants to be different. Yeah. If Jez,
Bournemouth
yeah.
leads. Oh my God, you guys are high. 0-0.
Otherwise, I'm copying
0-0?
copying Alan.
0-0. You could hit a barn with a machine gun.
Couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. I'm going. I don't think.
Wake up, Oregon. Middleton in the house. That's my man. Jay Ross.
Jay
My
Ross,
guy.
what's up, man? Thanks for coming by. What's up? What's up?
I know that, bro. I know that dude for years.
God, Leeds are so bad. Leeds are
They
so bad. And
So Bournemouth,
I'm
dude.
going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 Bournemouth. I'm going with Allen. I'll cheat off Allen. I'm shameless. I don't care. This is going to be a massacre. Southampton visiting Newcastle. Allen.
Yeah, I think Southampton have that Bournemouth midweek game when they lost 1-0. That was the last chance for me. Last chance saloon, and they lost it, didn't they? So I think they're going to be down. And Newcastle on a. They just seem to be scoring goals for fun. Yeah, 3-0. I've gone for 3-0 Newcastle.
I agree with you. Jaminho's going 4-0. Jeez. Jez.
4-0. Newcastle, sorry.
No.
Well, Newcastle scored 11 goals in 2 games. So I'm going to go 3-0. They look pretty unstoppable.
They look.
They looked good last night. To be fair, watched
They were.
bits of it, if not like a bit, and they were. They were all over Everton.
They were all over them. Yeah, I'm surprised Everton didn't even touch the ball, to be honest. Isak, what a signing. God.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah,
ruined their
I'm
whole defense.
Yeah.
Yes,
Can you imagine where, and I'm not going to, I don't want this to spin off into, another huge conversation because I got to go soon, but can you imagine where Newcastle would be if Isak was healthy earlier in the season?
Or where
I don't want
be
to. I don't want
instead of Eddie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't get me started there. Don't get me started. Okay. This is going to be fun. Liverpool hosts Spurs.
Lenny's got 2-2.
Yeah, Lenny's got 2-2. Draw. What do you got, Alan?
I only see one winner in this. Liverpool. They're on. They seem to be on a cusp, don't they? I think I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. Spurs heads drop easy, don't they? And I think Liverpool will go forward 4-1.
Jez.
I'm going 2-1 Liverpool.
Okay. Gal?
3-1. Go with my man Yeti.
I'm going 5-0 Liverpool.
Oh,
They're going to get piped. Spurs are going to get absolutely piped out there. They got no mentality, and it's all vibes with Ryan Mason. Sorry to all the Spurs fans that came over from Tottenham away. They are going to get piped.
Man wears a hoodie his first day on the job.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. They are done. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Yeah. And by the way, like Spurs, Man United against Spurs, visiting Spurs is a different story. Going to Anfield with that club and the form that it's on, it's going to be bad. It's going to be very bad. I'm going 5-0, and that's going to be my most ridiculous one. I'm not going too ridiculous now. This is interesting. Everton at Leicester City. Alan.
Fight.
This is a bit like the United Villa game. Very tight. Very could go either way. You could pick anyone. I think Leicester will just beat again team like last 2 games, whereas Everton hopeless. So Will Everton score? I just don't think. Nah, I think I'm going to say 2-0 Leicester.
Ooh, okay. I wasn't expecting that, honestly. Draw from Jaminho. Jets.
I am going to go. It's a relegation fight. I think it's going to be quite an open game because they're both fighting for survival. And I think they'll knock each other out. And I think it's going to be 2-2.
That's a shout. Mr. Dow.
I'm gonna go with Allen 2-0. I don't see Everton scoring there. I don't see Everton. No, it may be a set piece or two, but
big up, Jaminho. Thanks for coming by.
Cheers, Jaminho.
All right, what was it, Dal? Sorry, I got
Look,
distracted.
2-0. That's okay. 2-0 Leicester. I just don't see Everton scoring there. They have zero firepower.
I'm going 3-0 Leicester. I think Everton are going down in that beautiful new stadium. They are going down to the championship. And then Jaminho, last but I wouldn't say certainly not least, but I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday night, Chelsea visits the Emirates, and Lenny is going 2-1 Chelsea. Jeez, Lenny, that is nice. To Chelsea, proper Chelsea. Then we got Fabinho going 2-1 Arsenal. Alan.
2-0 Arsenal.
Good one. Jez.
Don't see Chelsea getting anything from that game.
No, yeah, 2-0 I've got down, so I'm sticking with my 2-0. Arsenal.
Okay. Long-haired Yeti, put your score in. You're the only one that I'm missing out of the chat, my brother. All right. Dow.
He's gone 2-1, TJ.
I saw it.
No, I'm not.
No, I meant Yeti. I copied.
I'm gonna. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna go 1-1. And I say that because until something drastically changes, which I don't think it's going to happen against Chelsea, we are going to be struggling to win a game from here on out.
I'm not looking forward to this game at all. I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal, and I will probably be wrong, but we'll see based on current start. All right, everybody, that's it for Premier League predictions. Again, if you did not get your score on the spreadsheet, I will add it to the spreadsheet if you put it in the comment section of the video, not the live, the video. So put it on the comment section of the video. Smash a like while you are doing it, please. Smash a like, sub to Oregon Gooner, sub to the Arsenal History and More, and sub to Alan / follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. And then, sub to him when he starts his own YouTube channel.
Which is happening tomorrow, right, Alan?
Which is happening tomorrow, Alan. You didn't know that. I'm creating it for you right now, actually. All right, guys, we gotta get out of here. I'm gonna get everybody, let everybody shout themselves out one more time, and then I gotta hit the road to go to Wichita, Kansas, which is a lot more boring than this is. So, yeah, actually, Grumpy Grandpa, real quick. FYI, Chelsea scored a total of 1 goal deflection in the month of April. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Grumpy Grandpa. Arsenal are a perfect place for them to score an actual goal that isn't a deflection.
Yep.
So that's my part. That's my thought. All right, Oregon Gooner, shout yourself out, Dal, my man.
Check me out, Oregon Gooner on YouTube. Come and say hi. Play some FIFA. Play a little Call of Duty. It's more of a gaming channel. I interact with people chatting. Different format than this, but yeah, come by, send a sub, send a like. Yeah, And what else am I on? Oh, I'm on Twitter, Oregon Goon HD, but I don't do a lot on there. Just kind of bantering other clubs. Nothing really too much fun. But yeah, thanks again, TJ, for the show. 8 episodes in, brilliant. And thank you, Jez. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, chat. Let's get it.
Here we go. Let's get it done. Jez, shout yourself out, my man.
Yeah, Arsenal history and more. Everything about Arsenal, whatever. And on the way to 4K now. So the channel's blossoming. Great host, as always, TJ, DVS. Alan, looking forward to your channel, my friend. And unfortunately, Tuesday night will be the first game I will be missing all season. My sister and I and family are going to go and spread our mum's ashes. And then after that, we've got a big family do. So I won't actually see the game live. So I won't be doing fan cam and player ratings with Lee and Kenny, which is a great shame. I love doing all that. But it is what it is. We've got to do it. Guys, excellent show. And what, TJ, you're going to smash it, man. You're on your way up that YouTube ladder.
Yeah, I appreciate it, my brother. I appreciate it. Yeah. All the best, Jez. All the best.
Yeah.
Alan, shout yourself out.
Well, first of all, thanks again for having me on. It's been great. Obviously, love coming on this show. So great to have the dulcet tone of my voice speaking out loud about world football. So yeah, great to be on. Thanks again, guys. It's really appreciated to be here. I enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm at Norwood36_Alan is my Twitter handle. And I'm on Facebook as well. So just Alan Bry on Facebook.
Beautiful. Thanks, Alan. Okay. And then a couple of just shout outs I want to make here. Eugene, I saw you here earlier. Big up. He's another Spurs guy who talks facts. Really appreciate it. Amir, thank you for stopping by. We saw Gaguma here earlier. I don't know if they're still here, but big up Gaguma. Everybody who showed up from other channels that have seen me on here. Gaguma's still here. My girl. Still here. I really appreciate it. You guys, I go on these other streams, these other call-in shows, and you guys come on, subscribe, follow me. It really does mean a lot because that means you guys appreciate what I have to say, which is a big ego boost for me, as if I needed my head to get any bigger. But TJ Warren TV, again, we will have the American Idiot Show again coming on next Friday, probably returning at the regular time. Today is just a special day because I took the afternoon off and I have to travel. So normal 9 p.m. next week. And I will be returning probably Monday or Tuesday for an Arsenal preview for the Chelsea game and of course a match reaction very quickly. So keep your eye out for that. And again, until next time, come on, you Gunners. Please don't break my heart. Please, for the love of God.